All right. Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive.
Picking up where we left off last time, we were looking at that UNESCO framework
Right.
and really trying to get a grasp on AI in education
Yeah,
and why it's something that, frankly, every educator needs to be ready for.
absolutely. And
Right.
it's definitely becoming more and more prevalent,
Yeah.
AI in the classroom.
Yeah.
And teachers need to be prepared.
For sure. And that actually leads us perfectly into what we're going to be focusing on today.
But
We're going to be unpacking the ethical considerations, the responsibilities that all of you listening, teachers, educators, university lecturers, all of you
mhm.
need to be thinking about as you start bringing AI into your work.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point to start with because, the phrase ethical AI
Yeah.
can sound a little intimidating, right?
Uh,
But when
uh-huh.
you really break it down, it's all about making sure that we're using these tools responsibly and
Exactly.
thoughtfully.
And there are so many nuances to this. But
Yeah,
I think one of the biggest things that has to be on everybody's mind is student data privacy.
for sure.
We're dealing with incredibly sensitive information, and
Uh,
using AI tools in the classroom just adds a whole nother layer to think about.
Right, because these systems, they often need a ton of data to function properly.
They do.
And that data can be, very personal, very revealing about a student,
Yeah.
their learning style, what kind of mistakes they make on assignments.
Right.
I mean, all of that can reveal a lot about a student, and it needs to be handled really carefully.
And it's like even seemingly small details,
Yeah,
about a student's learning journey, it can all become part of this big data picture.
absolutely.
And as educators, we need to be really, really cautious about how that data is being used and how it's being protected.
And that responsibility extends to the tools themselves.
Right.
Educators need to be really discerning. They need to be critical
Yeah.
consumers of this technology.
Yeah.
Asking questions like, you know, what data does this tool collect?
Yeah.
How is it being used? Are there clear privacy policies in place?
It's almost like we need to add AI detective to our resume.
I know,
Same
right? It's like
way.
a whole new skill set.
It is.
But understanding how these tools work
Yeah.
is key to using them ethically.
Okay, so let's shift gears for a second, though.
Okay.
I want to talk about how AI might change the dynamic between teachers and students.
That's an interesting one.
This is where things get really fascinating to me because there's
Yeah.
so much potential for both,
Yeah.
positive shifts, maybe some challenging ones.
Absolutely. I mean, one potential benefit is that AI could really free up teachers' time,
Yeah.
so they can focus on things like personalized instruction,
Yeah.
more one-on-one time with students.
Right.
Imagine having an AI assistant that can take care of grading, provide some basic feedback,
Oh, wow.
maybe even tailor lessons to individual student needs.
That would be incredible.
Right.
It would let teachers really dedicate their energy to, that human element of teaching the relationships, the mentoring, the guiding.
Exactly. Building those relationships and fostering that connection,
Yes,
which is so crucial.
it is.
But on the flip side, we do need to be mindful of potential downsides too.
Okay.
We don't want to create a learning environment where students are mostly interacting with machines for feedback and instruction.
Because then you lose that human connection, right?
Exactly.
The empathy, the
Exactly.
encouragement, the understanding that a teacher brings to a classroom.
Yeah. It's all about striking that balance,
Right.
leveraging the power of AI, of course, but making sure that human connection stays at the heart of everything we do in education.
So can we make this all a bit more tangible?
Sure.
Let's say a teacher is thinking about using an AI-powered tool, maybe to help with grading essays.
Okay.
What are some of the questions that they should be asking themselves from an ethical standpoint?
Well, I think the first and foremost is, does this tool align with my teaching goals? Will it actually benefit my students?
Okay, yeah.
Beyond that, consider the data privacy aspects.
Uh-huh.
How does this tool collect and use student data? Are there any safeguards in place to protect their privacy?
So it sounds like this is more than just a pedagogical decision.
It is.
It's an ethical decision, too.
Absolutely. And it's a decision that should be made very carefully and thoughtfully with the student's best interests in mind.
I think that's a great point to end on. I mean, as we wrap up here, the key takeaway is that AI is bringing a whole new set of considerations for all of us as educators.
Yeah.
Navigating this new landscape, it requires us to be informed, it requires us to be critical thinkers, and it requires us to always, always, always put the well-being of our students first and foremost.
Couldn't agree more. And as AI keeps evolving, We're going to need to keep having these conversations, questioning our assumptions,
Yeah.
working together to make sure that AI is used ethically and effectively in education.
Well, thanks for joining us today on this deep dive.
We hope this gave you all some food for thought as you continue to explore this fascinating, fascinating world of AI in education.
We'll see you next time.